All right, guys. So every skill you need to make 100K per month with YouTube. This was a question that I got from one of you guys. You're asking me, okay, what skills do I actually need to learn in order to make it to 100K per month on YouTube, or even less than that? Let's say you want to do 10K a month or 30K per month, but from YouTube. What skills exactly do you have to learn? What do you have to get good at? So let's go ahead and start off with the obvious one. There's three core skill sets you have to get good at, but one of them is really important. This is the most important one, and that is, of course, content creation. Now, why is content creation the most important thing? Well, whenever you are doing any kind of endeavor at all, really, it's really like it's like content, traffic is the most important thing, right? Traffic is absolutely the most important thing by far. And so, you know, whenever you're selling anything, it doesn't matter what you're selling, like you're, some kind of product, right? Product, right? Any type of product. The first thing that you have to do is get traffic, right? You have to get traffic to your product. It's just that simple. Then after traffic, once you've got eyeballs on your product, you can start to market to them, right? So you can start to market, right? And then you can start to sell. Now that's a very simplified version, but basically the first thing in line in any type of thing like this is usually the most important, because if you don't have this thing, then like let's say this thing, your skill level is 0 out of 99, okay? And then these two things, your skill level is 99 out of 99. You're literally like the best marketer in the world, and you're the best salesman in the world, okay? It won't matter because there's no traffic that gets to this point and this point. So this is by far the most important one. The traffic is the most important thing by far. It's just that simple, okay? So this is why I always advocate start a YouTube channel, right? Start a personal brand. Get that traffic coming in. Get people following you, okay? Now, let's talk about the core sub skills. The first one is video idea generation. For this one, you use the icon method. Okay, I've talked about this many times. Icon. I'm really trying to spell my best here, guys. I think next time I might try to use a pen or something, but icon method. Okay, icon method. ICAHN method. And I've talked about this many times in other videos. There's even videos that I dedicated to it. I made an entire video on it, for instance. And then in other videos, I've talked about it. But basically, this is a way of finding video ideas that don't suck, right? Video ideas that are very likely to result in a video that gets a lot of views and therefore a lot of subscribers and makes a lot of money. Okay, so video idea generation is a super key skill. And much like traffic, video idea generation happens before anything else. Right? So when it comes to content creation, when it comes to making money in general, traffic comes first. But when it comes to content creation, video idea generation comes first. And so therefore, it is the most important step because, again, it's first. Because if you don't get this step right, none of these other steps matter. So you have to get this step right. You can have really good content creation skills. In fact, I've seen YouTubers who are far more skilled than I was when I started, like way more skilled than I was when I started. And they never do well because of the fact that their video ideas suck. And it's like they just don't learn, right? They just don't learn in many cases, and then they end up giving up. Okay, so video idea generation is very important. You can have a pretty mediocre video, pretty mediocre thumbnail, title, intro, but if you have the right idea, the right video idea, you're going to crush it. Okay. And I've shown many different examples of this from my channel, guys. But, one really good example is the most useless degrees, right? This is, I believe it's the most viewed video on my channel. Yeah, 3.8 million views, almost 4 million views. And I got the idea for this video from basically another video idea. Let's see if I can pull it up really quickly. Basically another channel. Let's see if I can find it and pull it up really quickly. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so I got it from another channel. So This was the video right here. This was a while back, and it was 10K subscribers, 760,000 views. It was a really terrible video, yet it got a ton of views, even though they didn't have that many subscribers. And that's essentially the icon method. Of course, I'm not going to spend the whole video going over that because I've already gone over that in other videos. But yeah, icon method, very important. Second most important thing is the thumbnail, title, and intro. Okay, so creating attention-grabbing thumbnails, titles, and intros, which is considered the marketing aspect of the video, is incredibly important. So, the first thing you want to do is have a product or a service, like using the analogy of, let's say you're selling a product, right? If your marketing is terrible, nobody's ever going to see the product. So you could have the best product or service in the world, but nobody's ever going to see the product if your marketing sucks, right? And so think of this kind of like the marketing for your product. So your video is a product, and your thumbnail, title, and intro is the marketing for your video. So you found a good idea, right? You have a product that people actually want, but now you have to get good at marketing the product, because before anyone is ever going to, be able to experience your videos, they have to click on your videos. And so that's why the thumbnail, title, and intro are so important in order to catch people's attention and keep their attention so they can actually consume the main nut of your content. Okay. So this is the second most important thing. And I call this the holy trifecta. I make names for things that are really important, guys. If it doesn't have a fancy name like the icon method or the holy trifecta, it's probably not as important. It's still important, but not as important, right? So holy trifecta, thumbnail, title, and intro. Why do I call it the holy trifecta? Because you want to do these three things together, okay? You want to do these three things at the same time because they need to be congruent with each other. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a video where the thumbnail is really negative. It's like someone making the O face, like, right? And then the title is really positive, like my 25 favorite stocks. And then it's like he's scared in the thumbnail, right? Because they just see everybody else with scared O-face thumbnails and they think, oh, this will work for anything. And then they use it with like my 25 favorite stocks, and it just doesn't make sense because you got a negative thumbnail, but you got a positive title. Doesn't make sense. Another one I see all the time is you got a negative thumbnail and title has some kind of negative emotion or scared or something like that. But then the intro is like, hey guys, I'm super happy to be with you today. Super excited to do this video, blah, 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 blah. This is like super positive and upbeat. That doesn't work either. So these three things need to be congruent with each other. And the easiest way to make sure you do that is to do all of them at once. Then you've got script writing and research, okay? So this is how you create value in your video, right? So this is how you make your videos valuable. Now, I will say there's a caveat to this. If you're doing raw, authentic content, you don't need to spend very much time, if at all, on script writing and research. Why? Because your life has already been the research, right? Your life, you're talking about something that you're either an expert in, like most of you are experts in something, or if you're not an expert in, you position yourself as a learner and then you share your journey of becoming an expert. Okay. So if you do this, this is kind of like a life hack, and this type of content is doing really well on YouTube right now. This is kind of like a life hack because when you do this, it takes way less time for you to make your videos. Because if you're going to spend a lot of time script writing and researching, that's great. And I used to do that back in the day, but it does take some time, especially if you want to make the videos good. Like it does take some time. It's going to take a couple hours to make a really good, script and research a really good script. Okay. So if you're doing, basically just raw, authentic content where you're just, you're an expert and you're just sharing what you already know, you do not need to spend very much time on this. However, if you're not doing raw, authentic content, if you're doing like heavily edited content and, everything is really choreographed and edited, you're going to have to spend a little bit of time on script writing and research. And it's really important. Just make sure, whatever you're doing, just make sure you're delivering value, because that's what this step is all about. Make sure that you're actually delivering the value that you promised in the intro in the video, right? Then you got video recording. So this is like presentation skills, on-camera charisma. This is one of those things. I was absolutely terrible at this when I started, and I'm still not all that good at it. At least I don't think I am. There are some people on YouTube that have incredibly good charisma when they record. Gotham Chess is an example. He has a chess channel, really good charisma. Another guy who has really good charisma is Hamza. Hamza has really good charisma. Um, there's a guy. He made photography videos. So I'll just show you guys. So Gotham Chess, incredible charisma, unbelievably good charisma. I watched some of his videos. Then you've got Hamza. This guy is like super charismatic, unbelievably good charisma. And then you've got let me see, Peter McKinnon. Okay, Peter McKinnon, man, he has crazy good charisma. Okay, so this guy is an absolute beast. He has incredibly good charisma. So those are some people you kind of want to watch. Now, I will say one thing is as much as it's great to watch people that have charisma. Another one is, by the way, another one is going to be Graham Stephan. I would say Graham Stephan has really good charisma too. But yeah, anyways, these are people that have great charisma, and you want to watch them. But here's the thing: don't try to imitate them, right? Because that's a little weird. Now, what you want to do is you want to be yourself, but be the best version of yourself when it comes to doing your videos. So I'm a little introverted. I'm not trying to be super extroverted, outgoing, smiling all the time. It's just weird for me because that's just not how I am, right? Um, but with that being said, if I'm feeling really tired, if I don't feel good, I'm not going to record. If I'm sick, I'm definitely not going to record. I tried doing that one time. It was terrible. I got people commenting on my video like, "Are you okay, Shane? Are you okay?" Got a lot of comments like that. And for good reason, because I look like death, right? Because I tried to record videos when I was sick. So don't do that. So, maybe drink some coffee, get a little hyped up, that kind of thing. And yeah, that's a great way for you to get out of your head and really, deliver a good presentation, right? So, yeah, video recording. This is something it takes a while to get used to. It takes some practice, but it's really not too bad. And the best advice I can give you on this is just pretend like you're talking to a friend. Pretend like you're making the video for a friend. Like your friend asked you about something that you're good at or something that you're learning about, and he asked you to make a video for him, and you're just making the video for a friend. That's my best advice. Then you got video editing. This enhances the video quality and makes it engaging. Now, video editing used to be really important, but there's this new thing that's happening on YouTube with kind of raw, authentic content that's actually doing extremely well. So it used to be that on YouTube you had to entertain people like crazy, especially in the TikTok era when YouTube was really competing with TikTok when it first came out. You just had to just load up every video with edits. These days, I'm noticing that a lot of the time you can get away with really raw, authentic content. So you see people like Sam Sulik, for instance, who really blew up in a huge way. I mean, he got 4 million subscribers, I think, less than a year. He absolutely blew up with just raw, authentic content. You can check his channel out if you'd like. But yeah, barely any editing whatsoever. And he just kind of just talks to the camera, just stream of consciousness off the top of his head. And people really like that because people are a little bit tired of the fakeness, the scripted stuff. They can just tell that it's fake. They can tell that it's not that great. And then video launch. So this really isn't too much of a skill, but it is something that, over time you want to get a little bit better at it. It's more of something that you need to do every single time, which is make sure it's SEO optimized, make sure the thumbnail's uploaded, make sure the title's properly uploaded, make sure there's some kind of link in the description if you're promoting something. You'd be surprised how many times I've forgotten that. But yeah, video launch is really important. Then also like analyzing the launch, just seeing how your video is doing upon launch, and then changing your thumbnail if it's not doing too well. Then the second big skill, right? Because the first one was content creation. The second big skill is going to be lead generation and nurturing. Okay, so what exactly is lead generation, and how is it different than traffic? Well, traffic is just getting eyeballs on you, right? You get people's eyeballs on you. A lead is someone that you can contact about your product to buy your product, right? Now you can make money from just traffic alone, by the way. I make around like 50K per month from AdSense, right? I've had like around 65K a month. So you can make money from just traffic, okay? With that being said, you're leaving a ton of money on the table if you're not promoting something, either your own product or an affiliate product, so someone else's product, and you're getting a percentage of it. And so lead generation, basically what it is, a lead is someone that you can contact about your product. Now, a good lead, not just a lead, but a good lead is someone who is likely to be interested in your product that you can contact. Okay? So they're actually likely to be interested. They're not just like a random person. And so this is the skill of lead generation. Now, this is especially important on YouTube. And the reason for that is because on YouTube, you can't direct message people. On Instagram, you can. On Twitter, you can. On many other platforms, you can. Facebook, etc. But on YouTube, you can't, right? You cannot direct message anybody. And so you have to get leads in a different way, right? So methods for lead generation, the classic one is the email list. Email list is the classic method for lead generation that everyone has used basically since the dawn of time. It's worked incredibly well for like the last 30 years. Okay, email list is great. With that being said, there's other really good methods now too. For instance, you could just get them onto another social media platform like Instagram. Okay, you get them on Instagram and you start messaging them, you start DMing them, and then seeing if they're interested in buying your product. Then another really good way is doing webinars, right? So these are basically free trainings where you teach people something and they give you your contact information. So in all of these cases, like in the email list, for instance, they give you their contact information. With the webinar, they give you a contact information. Sometimes they might join a Facebook group. In many cases, to join the Facebook group, they have to give you the contact information. Same thing if you have like a school group or something like that. Now with Instagram, if you get them on another social media platform, you don't technically have their contact information, but you can always DM them, right? So in all of these cases, you have a reliable way of getting a hold of them. And the way that you do this, guys, the way that you do this is you simply give away awesome stuff, okay? Giveaways, free templates, free guides, free webinars. Give away awesome stuff for free, okay? Valuable stuff. If you give away crappy stuff for free, people are going to sign up for it, but they're never going to buy your stuff. So you have to give away stuff that's actually good and give it away for free in exchange for their email. It's kind of like a sample platter. If you guys have ever gone to Costco, right, in the US, I think it's called something else in other countries, but Costco in the US, they have these people at the aisles and they're giving away free samples, right? They give away free samples of all these different types of foods. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's so yummy. I'm going to buy the whole thing. It's the same thing. You're giving away free samples of your content. And then people are like, great, I want to buy the whole thing. And then as stated before, direct messaging on YouTube isn't currently possible, right? So this limitation is likely to prevent spam and appointment setting, right? So that's why YouTube doesn't do it. Just wanted to reiterate on that. With that being said, YouTube is incredibly good for lead generation, getting people on your email list or in a group, etc. And even more important, nurturing. Now, what is the difference between lead generation and lead nurturing? Well, lead generation is just simply collecting a database of people that you can contact. Nurturing is contacting those people and getting them to know, like, and trust you. Now, you can actually nurture leads before you even get their information. So on YouTube, you can nurture people before they ever give you their information. And then once they give you your information, they're already nurtured. Okay, so getting them to know, like, and trust you, and the way you do that is by simply providing value, giving them, golden nuggets and stuff like that, right? So just giving them really valuable stuff. And then finally, another very important skill, and this is a core skill, is marketing. Now, this is technically marketing and sales. If you're doing a high ticket product, it's going to also be sales. Okay, if you're doing a high ticket, why? Because you're going to have to get on the phone. Either you or someone else is going to have to get on the phone to sell people. Now, if you're doing a low ticket or medium ticket, it's just marketing. If you're doing high ticket, It's going to be marketing and sales. Okay, so key marketing skills, copywriting. Copywriting is honestly one of the coolest skills, guys. I mean, the fact that you can do this and get paid to do it is just so awesome. And this is basically crafting effective calls to action and persuasive text. The fact that you can get paid to do copywriting is amazing, guys. Like, it's super fun to do. It's like, it's just a really cool skill. It's just a really cool skill. It's sales in the written word. So you don't have to feel that pressure. You can just take your time and write it as, as fast or as slow as you want. And then you've got marketing tech setup. This is a skill, in and of itself, because there's a lot of marketing tech. Now, my favorite way of doing this, because I don't like setting stuff up, I've set stuff up in the past, but I almost always just use Fiverr. Okay. Sometimes I'll use Upwork. Upwork can be good too, but I really like Fiverr. Yeah. So Fiverr's good. Upwork's good. Maybe just hire VAs to do it for you. Hire like an IT person to do it for you. That's what I've always done. Okay. So marketing tech setup, because I just don't want to waste my time setting up marketing stuff. Then sales page creation. This is designing and writing compelling sales pages, combining design and copywriting. This is not just the copywriting, but it's also the design part. And I really recommend doing this at least once yourself. You definitely want to help with the copywriting, because nobody will ever write copy as good as you do once you have just a little bit of copywriting knowledge. Why? Because you know your audience better than anybody else, right? So no outside person is ever going to be able to write copy as good as you, because you know your audience better than anyone else, because you make content for your audience. You spend a lot of time with your audience. You do a lot of webinars, etc. And so the design part, obviously you want to make it look attractive, but it's not that important. But then the copywriting part is really important. But overall, sales page creation is another skill. Then you've got email marketing. Okay, email marketing, and we could also just say like outreach in general. Okay, just so if you're outreaching to people on your Instagram, for instance, so email marketing or outreach as well. In Instagram, you don't have their email, but you're still reaching out to them. But yeah, creating and managing email campaigns or messaging people on Instagram or other platforms to engage and convert subscribers. Okay, so really important skill. It's basically, you could maybe call, this is kind of related to appointment setting. That's something that this is referred to as well, appointment setting. And that's if you're basically setting up, this is for high ticket, right? For high ticket appointment setting is what it would be called, right? And then you've got sales skills. So this is important, but it's less critical for creators with large followings, and it includes persuasion, communication, and negotiation. And this is this is for high ticket, okay? It's for high ticket only. Appointment setting is also for high ticket. Email marketing and outreach could be for low ticket and medium ticket as well. Okay, so these are the only real skills you need. So if you're not doing high ticket, you don't need to do this or appointment setting. But if you are doing high ticket, you're going to want to do those. Okay, so that's it, guys. Those are the only skills you need. It might sound like a lot, but honestly, most of these are pretty easy, or you just have to do them one time and then you never have to do them again. The most important skill above all else is, of course, content creation, guys. Because if you have an audience of people that know, like, and trust you, and you're solving real problems for real people that have real money, your marketing can be pretty average. Your lead generation can be pretty average or even below average, and you're still going to crush it, because you don't need to be a marketing genius if you're just consistently solving people's problems, right? And as always, guys, you can work with me by clicking the link down in the description in the pinned comment below. You can apply for a call with me, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. And, I've worked with a ton of people. I've helped them get ridiculous results from YouTube. YouTube, in my opinion, is without a doubt the best way to make money online right now. It's really just a no-brainer for me. And so if you want to, start crushing it on YouTube, go ahead, click the link down in the description and the pinned comment below.